but I have the other ones available in there.
Wait.
But
So, Luke, what are you drinking today? Coca-Cola.
Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
Oh, you need a bow after that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Oh, Joe! I learned my lesson from last time. What a welcome, thank you. I drink the most fruity drink imaginable.
It's laundry day.
it's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day.
Here, did you a favor.
Yes. As you say, later.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like some of our drawstrings, smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Yes. Man, I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. Woohoo! Yes, there we are, guys. Woohoo! It is Sunday. It is Sunday, guys. This means another episode of A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their lives and their hopes and their dreams, but also their books and their campaigns, because I'm kind of bored with mainstream stuff, guys, and indie is where the passion is. So yes, I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. My weekend is great. I went to my first comic convention yesterday, for the first time in 2 years, because last year I didn't feel like it. I didn't do conventions. It's a lot of hassle. You have to ship all your drag your stuff with you, present it there, and you have to talk to people. And sometimes that's not my forte, right? But it was. I kind of wanted to do it because I wanted to keep in touch with the customers, so people recognize me, they recognize the brand, and network with other creators. There are a lot of cool creators there, and one of the creators there was another Dutch artist called René Bergmans, and he's the guy who does our trading cards. Look, does the trading cards for us. So he was with me there, which was awesome, and he gave me this also. So he made this. That's cool, right? That's great. All these genuine verse characters in this typical like European style. He kind of forces himself to do a little bit American style, but you can still see it's very European. You have this character right here, and he gave me this also, which is great. I love this. Really cool. All this little chibi, which is more his thing, right? And then this right here, really cool stuff. So René, thank you, man. Okay, and sold some books, got some more hopefully fans. I don't know, readers. So that's always cool. And I promised myself to not buy anything there, because sometimes you sell stuff and there's so much cool stuff you want to buy, but you have to restrain yourself, right? Because it goes against you're there to make some money. All right, guys. I see Ryu is in the chat. Ryu arts and gaming. So this time not Ryu novels. He has arts, he has gaming, he has novels. A lot of things going on. Welcome, Ryu. Nice to see you in the chat. Share out this stream. Let's bring in some more people, because we have a fantastic guest, a returning guest to the show, returning very talented individual with a fantastic upcoming campaign. So it's not an active campaign, but it's something that's it's in the near future, and we want to talk about that. So let's bring him on. Let's see if I have everything set up correctly. I think I do, so we can have a very warm welcome for Mr. Joe Catapano.
Wow.
What a warm reception from that cool audience.
Yeah,
They look kind of old, but yeah, I like it.
All right, Joe, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's been probably a couple of years, I think, since we've been on together on your channel, at least. But so much has happened since. It's been great.
Time for
How I see that you're kind of upgrading a lot of different things on the channel, new intros that I haven't seen before, and
slowly we'll get there.
yeah, which is great. I'm enjoying it. It's like I feel like it's always up in the entertainment value is great. But yeah, but we're here doing comic books mostly, so
Yeah,
the YouTube thing is secondary.
right. So do you like doing YouTube? You have your own YouTube channel. Do you enjoy that, or is it something that you just need to do?
I sometimes enjoy it. It's weird. I try to find the thing in the Venn diagram of YouTube and comics. I try to find that little sliver in between that's like I get to do both. So they tend to be kind of things that I'll tend to draw something and record it, and that way I get the draw, and then I'll throw that in YouTube, and I'll probably do commentary, and I like to talk about comic artists and anything that's really comic oriented, but put it on YouTube. So my channel's growing really quickly these days. It's been a good year for YouTube. I like the algorithm these days.
Okay, yeah, right. Okay, before we continue, Joe, I need
sure.
to ask you, what are you drinking today?
Oh man, I'm drinking a diet fruit drink. It's like I don't know, it tastes like Hawaiian Punch, but it's not all sugary. I'm usually drinking beer. I would be drinking a beer with you right now, but I'm on like a diet, so I gotta not drink beers right now.
So it's something like soda or something?
Yeah, it's like a Hawaiian Punch. I don't know if you ever had like a punch. It's like a punch.
Punch? No, I don't know it.
Yeah.
So Jens, do you know it?
Huh? A what? Did? No.
No, never heard of
Doesn't know it. Dude, I haven't had punch. It's like fruity. It's like a berry fruity. I haven't had one of these drinks in forever, so it's weird.
All right. In the chat with us is Alec Horowitz. Welcome,
What's up, Alec?
How are you today, sir? Good to see you. So we're talking with Joe Catapano. The last time you were here, you had a campaign going on for Star Circuit, Book 1. So how did that campaign go?
Oh man, it went
with the process, with the program.
Yeah. It went good. It went good, and then it went great, and I was very surprised. To me, I think it was, I don't know, way more successful. I think I remember thinking if I hit 10K, I'll be ecstatic, and I think we doubled that. So it's one of those things where like, how much more excited can you be, kind of thing, for your first book.
Wow.
And so I really was on cloud nine. I didn't know what to expect for my first book, so I just gave an arbitrary number, thought it would be pretty successful, hit 10, and it went higher, so that was great. Yeah.
This was your first book and your first campaign, right? So what did you do to reach the numbers? Was there some sort of strategy?
I didn't do it on purpose. I know there was a lot of like people, I think like Rob the Replicator had like this crowdfunding document that I read through, but I ended up like not purposely not paying attention to it, but I read it and thought all the information was good. But then I just ended up doing what was natural. And what was natural for me was to get on other people's streams and talk about certain things, be in the chat and meet people. I think that's the best thing you do is just talk and meet people and actually make a great looking book, the best possible book you can make. So I think that's number one. But then after that, talking to people, as much as you can. Sure.
Did you also have a pre-launch phase?
Oh yeah, I think that's one of the advice I did take pretty literally from Rob's document, and it states at least give it a few months, but I gave it the full 6 months. So it was a long time, but I kind of needed it. I needed it to just get more comfortable with the community of indie comics, get more comfortable with talking with people more. I'm introverted, so it's not my foray either. So
Right. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. So do you remember how many signups you got your first time?
I think so. It was between 200 and 300, I believe, which was
Right.
pretty good from what I hear. But I really wanted to hit 300, but before I launched, and I don't think we did, but it was close. It was probably
Sure.
280 or something.
It's difficult, right? It's difficult to get people to sign up.
Yeah, it's weird because like with your first book, you have a lot working against you. You have this thing where one, they don't know the quality of what you're going to do. Two, they don't know if they're going to really like what you're going to do, and three, they don't know if you're going to actually get the product to them, like physically and do all the work of fulfilling. So you had a lot of things working against you. So like you said, yeah, getting those emails is the first challenge. You'll notice like because I noticed this time around because I'm on the second round of going for crowdfunding. People do sign up easier, like, because they number two just seems like they are more confident with
Yeah.
like, oh, this is number two. He knows what at least he's done it before once.
Yes. People know you now. I think that's a factor also when you're relatively new to the scene.
Yeah,
People need to find out who you are if you deliver, right?
yeah.
And you did. So and people seemed to really like the book also. So what was the feedback that you got?
I've got some real like I got one or two. I think everybody gets one or two negative, which is good. At least it wasn't like a ton of negative. But I like to get negative more than positive because it tells me what I need to change
Yeah, sure.
in the future. But I got a lot of positive, I got a few, just like out of the park kind of reviews. And then a lot of people that really enjoyed it, but had just small nitpicks with like pacing or they wish like some of the shots that were smaller would be bigger, blow up these moments
Oh,
into
right.
bigger things. And so those are the pieces of advice that I try to change for book two.
Right. But so these were pieces of input that you agreed with?
Not always, but some of them I do, and to me, after looking back on it, I see the things that I would want to change. That's just natural. You see your first
Yeah, I reckon.
book. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you relate,
I have this also with early books or this book that comes out later on. I kind of want to George Lucas the book, right? Like
yeah,
change things.
yeah, retcon it a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I realized that I wanted to do certain things with book one that is just not great for maybe an intro chapter. You like as a beginning creator, you want to jump into the goods, like the really exciting stuff, but that's not necessarily the best thing for pacing. It's not necessarily the best thing for story. And some of that, you just have to learn as you go. Though I really do think most people really liked chapter one a lot.
right. So you mean you kind of want to draw the action-packed scenes and you kind of want to skip over the more like boring sequences?
No,
Or
I
do you
wouldn't
mean?
describe it that way. It was more like certain things, like when you think of like your characters, and you're like, oh, I can't wait till this character does this one thing,
Yeah.
because that would be really cool for his character. It's one of those type of things. Not because a lot of those moments are not necessarily action. I was looking forward to having in the book, my character talks to his dad, who is kind of like he's kind of after a tragic moment in the family, he's kind of dipped into a lull and he's not been the dad he should be. But I wanted that moment to be in there, and I don't think necessarily it needed to be in book one necessarily. But that's what I mean.
Right. So we'll see more of that in this book, in the new book.
Yeah, I think I really focused on pacing. I think this second book is going to knock people's socks off. I've gone through many editors. We can talk about it, but one thing is for sure that this book really does what the first one didn't. I think the first one needed a better like a banger of a climax. You know what I mean? Like a really good climax. And this book has this nice pacing build up to an incredible climax that I think people are going to be blown away by.
Okay, so this was something you took away from, because you basically had to learn also the writing process and pacing and everything that has to do with structure and scenes and stuff like that. And now, do you feel you learned a lot with writing also? So now you will do things differently, or maybe different editors that bring different aspects to your story?
It's a little bit of both, I'd say. On my end, I'm the most, out of all the hats that I wear, I feel like the writer hat is the most difficult. I think it's because I think it stands out the most when you don't get it right for storytelling, obviously. But I've learned a lot. Took a long time to like try to get better at it. And this time around, I think that's one area where I focused on making small changes and big changes, giving the moments that need to be like really exaggerated or given their time in the sunlight and time in the spotlight. Those moments are the moments that I think I really push in book 2, like making sure each moment, each reaction, each piece of action, each piece of dialogue has its moment. And I think something that newbie indie comics, this is a fault for a lot of indie comics, they don't give enough, we'll say, impact for a certain thing. Like if you're putting something in a book, you need to give it time. It's either you give it time in the book or don't include it at all, you know. Like you don't want to have a background character to saying something very important about the main character, you know,
No.
and just have it like as a background thing. That's
Right.
something that I see a lot in indie comics that I'm trying to correct in my own book.
Right.
But you brought up editors, and it's very similar with that too. Each editor is giving me pieces of advice that I pull from, and I think in the end, I found somebody that is actually the best fit for me. You know, I was pretty much looking for someone that disagreed with me a lot, and I finally found somebody that disagreed with me a lot.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good. Okay, so did you experience with other editors that you didn't get the pushback that you wanted, or the input that you were looking for, or what was
what I want? Yeah, what I like think what I found with the most recent guy, which is actually Julius Freeman, if you know him.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so I'm working with Julius as my editor at this point in time, but he's the way we work, I think I like the best, which is we dive into a lot of like some of the overall stuff, but we go page by page. And I think in the past, a lot of editors don't necessarily go that deep. They'll look at something, they'll look at dialogue, they'll look at proofreading, they'll look at like the global changes. But Julius really cares about if you're getting the most optimal like impact and the most optimal way to tell this certain thing. Let's just say you're trying to tell somebody, have your character like tell somebody else that he's angry. He's going to give you the input where, you know, maybe you should change the shot to be looking from, you know, the ground up to make him seem more angry, or, you know, change the lighting, or, you know, specific things that might actually make a better book. And I think that's what I like most about the newest round of editing.
All right. So not only story wise, but also visually, that he thinks about the visuals.
Yeah, visuals and like the just sequence of how things are told. Yeah. I think he really cares about the storytelling aspect more than other things. Where other editors, the input I've got from them are maybe how marketable it is, or how clear it is, or how how to logically make all the pages work together. Some editors focus on that better, you know.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Welcome, Bogdan Digital Art. Welcome.
Hey,
and Good Stuff is also here, and Good Stuff is responsible for the wonderful trailer that we started with.
Awesome. Good stuff. I saw his advertise. I've been recently looking into other shows when I have time, and Good Stuff's got a good one over on his channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. All right. So, guys, this is basically you have your own website, Joe. So we're looking at that right now. The link to that, guys, is in the description. If you want to check it out, you can read part of issue 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first book. This opening page, or what?
Mm-hmm. It is the opening page. Yeah, just you're getting the first 10 pages or something.
Yeah. Great. Yeah,
cool.
cool.
I like giving the preview. It's something new that I changed this year. I put a free preview on the website, which I didn't have before, which I think is a big flaw. Eventually, once I have like hundreds of pages of the story done, I'll probably put the whole first issue up for free, because I think that's a cool thing to do, or very nearly the whole book. You know what I mean? I think that's a good idea. I don't think a lot of people value how much free things encourage other people to like get on board. Because a lot, if you go to conventions, you mentioned conventions this week, where was this convention you went to?
It was in this church. I totally forgot to tell that, but it's this church, and this church is still active. So every Sunday they have like what do you call it?
Service or something. Yeah.
Service. Right.
Yeah.
But other days, like Saturdays, they have like conventions. So this weekend was the comic book convention, and it's every year. It's really wonderful, and it's in the center, and it was wonderful weather. So a lot of people walk through the church, right? So you get a lot of activity. It's really cool. It's cool, beautiful location.
Nice. Yeah. So the conventions I've been to, some of them are big, some are big, some are like smaller shows. But the things that I've learned while having a booth at a convention, a lot of the newer, especially younger audience will expect you to have the thing up for free digital. Like for some reason, they're so used to Webtoons, the website Webtoons, or they're so used to like just many, like strip comics that have all of their stuff up on the website for free. They're almost used to this thing. Like a lot of them tons of younger kids would ask me, "Oh, where is it up online for free?" And I would be like, "I don't have the whole thing. I got a little free preview, Or at the time, I didn't have one at all, and it would be puzzling to them. I think that's something I noticed this year.
Right. Yes. I saw Mike is here. Mike, welcome. I just showed up to Dave. The original timestamp for the stream showed us 20 minutes after the hour. Yeah, I noticed too late. It was a mistake. Thank you for showing up, Mike. Glad to have you.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah. What I learned was that I have to bring like flyers for upcoming campaigns and stuff that I can hand out at conventions. People actually ask about that, right? So it's really convenient when you have that. Plus, when people buy something, you can just add it in there.
Something I bought this year were the adaptable QR codes.
Oh,
Have you
sure.
seen those? Yeah, the ones where that just like you can throw whatever URL onto the QR code and then reuse the QR code. You have to pay a monthly subscription, but it's worth to, keep pretty much. If you don't do that, then you're stuck with whatever's on the flyer for forever. And then, if you get the subscription, you're able to like change the URL to go to your current website. Like all the flyers that I send out now that went to another website, I can send it to the campaign if I want. Like I can change it to be the campaign page eventually. You know what I mean?
All right. So you buy for one specific QR code, and you can link that to anywhere you want.
And you can link it actively to anywhere. So the QR code won't change on their postcard that they have, but you'll change where it leads them to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a good way to go. I like that for upcoming books. Like if you want to put an ad in a book that's coming up and you just don't have it yet, you can get the QR code, give it to the guy to put into the ad, and then figure out your website later. You don't have to have it all set up at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. This art's pretty cool. So when you is the new book, because this is book one, is the new book very different visually, or are there?
Well, I'm doing only the line art this time, so it's going to look a little bit different slightly. But I actually went through a long, arduous process to find somebody that can mimic my style a little bit and have it be more cohesive. I'm also drawing this new book digitally, and so it's going to look a little bit cleaner, which I think in some ways is a good thing. Clearer is better, and a lot of this is art that I drew this in 2017, 2018, so my art is way better. In a lot of different ways, clearer and just more emotive and I think just more professional in general. But for sure, it's going to be kind of similar. The website, because I also have an Indiegogo. I don't have a link from my website, but I don't know if you have a side tab. We can go to the coming soon page too. Yeah, but from there you can see the difference of the art and see like how much it's changed. But I think most of the change is in a good way. My new colorist is Marcos Martins, who's done a lot of good covers out there. And you can see his color work. His color work is actually almost everything on the page is his colors. So,
right, guys, you can sign up to this. So the link to this pre-launch page is pinned in the chat. It's also in the description of the video. So please sign up, because 25% of signups who buy on launch day get Chapter 1 free. What does that mean?
So this means I was going to do it like a rebate, but I figured out the best way to do this. I wanted to give this thing where if you sign up and come to the page on day one in the first 24 hours, I'll pretty much do a raffle ahead of time, and I'll send out 25% of the signups a winner email, which will give you the secret link to a perk that will give you Chapter 1 for free. So on the back end, I'll do the raffle, and I'll just automatically send the people that won the raffle the free link to, because I'm going to have Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 as a bundle. It'll just be a secret tier where they'll get Chapter 1 for free.
Sure. Okay, that is cool. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be, to me, I really like that because for some reason, it's almost, even if you don't necessarily need it, or maybe you're not expecting it, it's just fun to get a nice email where you're like, you're a winner, like you win.
But wait, this does mean because people, this goes for tiers that have like Chapter 1 included, right?
Yeah, let's just say it's only for the catch-up tier. So you do have to buy Chapter 2 to get Chapter 1 for free.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So, but then people pay, and then they have paid. So do they get money back or
no? You essentially, and I was going to do it the way you're describing, but then I realized the magic would be to do it ahead of time. All I'm doing is doing the raffle beforehand, and then just giving the 25% of people the link. It doesn't mean that 25% of people will use the link, but
right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I get it. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be really hard. I figured out with because I'm using Critical Blast this time to do all the logistics, and we figured out that it would be insane to figure out the taxes and figure out the Indiegogo like rebates. It would be insane to try to figure that out. Yeah. If I don't do it that way.
Yeah. That's a better way to do it. So. Right, so the tagline is, after a cyber ghost syncs with his circuits, Atlas becomes the target of deadly android assassins. Ooh.
Yeah, so in this book, it's a cool thing because the events of Chapter 1 now lead to, obviously, Chapter 2, where the last event that happened in Chapter 1 has caused almost like this beacon. Atlas, the main character, has become like a beacon, and now the villains can kind of are noticing, like he's on their radar, so to speak, and they've sent out assassins for him, essentially. So you'll see how that plays out. So he has in the first book he had adversaries, but this is the first time he has the real antagonist is coming after him.
Oh, okay, all right. It's 72 pages.
So that's a big upgrade. It's actually more than 72 because I've added pages, but so we can just say 72 plus. And that's a story. So the book might be 80 or 76 pages. as a complete book, which will be nice, a nice big chunk. The first chapter is only 32, I believe. And so if you get both of these as a bundle, you're getting like over 100 pages, which is great.
Wow. But a few minutes back, you said something that you started drawing the first book in 2017, 2018.
That's right.
So does this mean that you that drawing this book was faster? The chapter 2 was faster?
Yeah, I'm getting. I've done so many different. It's been my main challenge of the last 2 years is to get faster, because I'm naturally a slow artist. I'm like a slow productivity type of guy. Like my best work comes out when I'm slow. So trying to balance that, try to get my best work, and at the same time like do it a little bit quicker. And I'm probably doing a page in like 10 or 12 hours instead of like 16. So I'm cutting it down by like a third, which is great. I got one of these timers. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these where with this timer, I essentially, if I have like a page to do or a panel, you can just wind this thing up. You go around the clock, set the timer, and then it ticks down. This little circle ticks down. And then you'll see it hit 0, but it's a visual timer. They said there was a study about this where it actually kind of clicks with your brain better if you see it visually. And so every time I look over, I see the red circle get less and less, and I pick up the pace. You know what I mean?
And that's the timer goes to 1 hour, or
it goes to 1 hour. So I usually end up, what I'll do is like, I have like 2 panels left to draw today or whatever. I could spend 4 hours. Let's try to do it in an hour. And I put an hour on, and let's see if we knock it out in an hour.
Wow. Okay, cool. Plus you said you now work digital. So that also makes a difference.
Yes, dude, especially for like the type of book I'm drawing. A lot of people draw these organic superhero books where the backgrounds are not necessarily prime time, but I do sci-fi, and it's about vehicles and motorcycles, and so a lot of the rulers for digital, when you work in digital Photoshop, or I like Clip Studio because their rulers are the best, like getting perspective right, getting concentric circles right for wheels and all that. You know, it's what I like about doing digital is the rulers and a little bit of copy paste, but not really. It's mostly the rulers that saves the time for me.
Plus, yeah. Bogdan says, slow artist, I know what you mean. Yes, it's difficult getting the speed, right? Getting the speed.
It is. Because especially if you're trying to do this for a living, because I don't know if you saw my post, but I had recently quit my job.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
Thanks, man. Dude, quitting your job is like the best feeling ever. I took a hiatus from my job when I first started working on Star Circuit to see what it was like. And that was 5 years ago or something. And I couldn't keep it up because if you don't have enough work coming in and you don't have a campaign coming right immediately, you can't keep it up, obviously. But things have changed. I got a lot of gigs. I got a lot of things coming my way. So I'm pretty confident it'll work out. However, quitting your job feels great. So I appreciate it.
Wow. Wow. Exciting new chapter for you.
I think it's
also chapter 2 for you, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I think that will add a little bit of confidence too. I'll be talking about it on all the streams, because it's a layer of confidence. You're like, oh, you quit your job to do this. So you're going to, there's no doubt that it's going to be better than if I had a day job, which people don't think about, but a day job does suck a lot of your best energy and your hours, your best hours. And so if you have to work one, it's it's kind of a double-edged sword. You get the money, but you have to use a lot of your energy.
This is true, man. Wait, so you managed to snag Rob Willis for a variant cover?
Yeah,
pretty cool. That's
great.
If
you've seen the color version by Alonzo, goes by Pixel Tool on his tag, but he's those guys. The combination of those guys together are great. I think they're both bombastic, like over the top type of artists, and they just work together great. But yeah, this cover is, I made 2 covers. The one that you have on the background and the top image is my cover, which I haven't really revealed except for this one little clip of it. but that's the one I did with Marcos as my cover. And then I wanted, and you see how bright and colorful it is. I wanted one cover to be the hero and one cover to be the villain, like this only two covers, one the hero, one the villain. And so I had Rob Willis, who is just great at this grungy type of, muscular type of covers, and I used him for the villain cover.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, it was a good pick.
Great. Mike says it's great to see how you've matured and grown since launching Star Circuit Chapter 1, Joe, as a married man.
Thanks.
Yeah. When you quit your job, you kind of open up your time to spend on your dream, on your projects, right? So is Star Circuit, is that your main thing right now, or do you have other things planned?
I have plenty of things planned. I still have to make money, obviously, and the campaign's only going to make so much that I'm not going to. I have to have other money coming in. So I do storyboards for commercials. I'm a commercial storyboard artist. And I'm working on actually a secret project with a kind of a high name person in the sphere of writing and literature and stuff. And so I'm doing a side book that's a secret one that I'll talk about soon. It should also be, I think it may be also launching this month too, but I'll be able to talk about that later. So that's another thing I'm doing.
Okay.
But yeah, it's nice. I'm doing those two things. So I get to do, when I quit my job, I don't get to put it all into Star Circuit, but I get to put it all into storytelling. So that's drawing for storyboards, drawing for comics,
right,
and illustrating, doing covers.
Right.
The cat, kitty cat.
Yes. Right. So, all right. I saw you had a teaser trailer. Shall we watch that?
Sure. It's very quick and just all energy. It's like got some metal to it. So it's definitely hard. It goes hard. I always have to warn people.
Cool.
Yeah, just enough to get the vibe going. We've got an awesome trailer in the works for the campaign. It'll have the full, the first time I had a trailer for my last book, it was mostly about vibe, mostly about like what the feelings you get from it, and with a few words, a voiceover. This time I wanted to like really give a little bit more of what's happening in the book, and like a little bit of this kind of world building type of feel. So yeah, I think everybody's going to really enjoy this trailer we're coming up with.
Excellent. Let me see. Your designing, scripting, and drawing alongside Marcos Martins joins the team with engaging colors. Right, beautiful work. You have some sneak peeks at the art. Racing is a cornerstone of Star Circuit's story, but there's much more under the hood. So did the story develop organically, or did you have to? Was it difficult to get certain storylines where you wanted to get them?
Yeah, for me, I'm an artist second. I learned to write after I learned to draw, and so before chapter 1, I tried to study writing and tried writing Star Circuit over and over and over for like a year and a half, and just kept doing it until something good came out of it. And for me, that worked, but I think that's what you kind of have to do, is just drill the concepts and try to get structure to work out in your way, in your favor for your story. And you learn things along the way. It's not perfect, but I'm just continuing that process. Like, I write a lot, read a little bit of a book, an idea, take some notes on like things I can add, techniques in storytelling that you can use to like make the story even more relatable, even more, where you can't put it down. You want to have all these nice open loops. You want to open up all these mysteries and open up these things that like you can't wait for the character to find out next or figure out, or, there's a piece of danger that's lurking after him like an assassin, and you're wondering how he's going to get out of this.
So when you introduce like mysteries into the story, do you know what it is, or is it sometimes a mystery to you also?
Oh no, I usually always know. I'm an outline kind of guy, so I have the whole what I call 8 chapters. It could end up being less depending on how I chunk it out, but right now it's like an 8-chapter mini series, which will probably be around 400 pages or so. So that's the beginning and end. I know how it's going to end. I know the themes, and I know what's should happen along the way. I don't put it down in hard. I don't put it down in stone, but I do have a goal, at least in the forefront in my mind.
Yes.
You know, but you're right. Yeah, not always. Not always do I know exactly how it's going to go. I think I agree with Stephen King about his thoughts on like not really knowing how things are going to end as you're writing. I think it gives this piece of excitement as you're writing the book. You're not exactly sure the ending for this book. Like I didn't know. All I knew is like I pretty much threw the challenge at my characters. I threw them like this big challenge of these assassins and this situation, and I was like, how he's going to get out of this? I didn't really know. I let the character figure it out for himself almost. Like right. I let his character choices and his wiliness and carelessness and recklessness and his like character flaws make the decisions for him almost how to do it.
Yes, great. Welcome, Agent Zero.
Hey, dude.
Welcome. Cool. All right. The previews all look interesting. So what is the time of launch? Do you know?
Yeah, we're launching. The set date is the 17th. We'll be launching at night, probably on I think Bancroft's channel.
This month.
This month in 2 weeks.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Less than 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I'm like
exciting.
I said. Yep, just really, there's a lot of books coming. I think the Tome of Reckoning just came out, and I think Phenomenova, which from Vaughn, I think is coming out, and same with
this month is very popular for launches.
Yeah, April seems like a good month for just I think I like when multiple books launch in a month because it seems like there's competition, but not really. I think you just get in the mode of looking at comics.
Yes,
and so
launching season.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it. But yeah, it'll be not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that. So less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, the Wednesday after that. Great. Yeah. That's fantastic. So guys, don't forget to sign up and tell other people to sign up. So share out this link, right?
Yeah, we're doing great. I think we're because building on the last email list, we're almost at 500. So
oh wow, that is great.
Yeah,
that is great, man. So we're looking forward to a good first 24 hours.
Yes. And dude, sign up now, guys, because like that, especially if this is the first time seeing it, you are the prime suspect for winning the book free because you'll get the first chapter for free and saving yourself a lot of money.
Excellent. Fantastic. All right. Let's see. Stop this screen. Did you have something? All right, you have your own YouTube channel, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So what kind of content do you? So people want to check that out. What kind of content can they?
Yeah, like I was saying, it's like we're doing mostly comic art stuff. So I like do tutorials, and I talk about one of my most popular set of videos is these videos where I talk about artist styles. So I pretty much go through a bunch of the famous artists that we know and love, and I break down what we really like about it. So what I'll do is I'll look up a lot of the art, and then I'll start studying what makes the art so good, and then try to figure out exactly the techniques they're using in their style that makes it so appealing. And those are my most popular videos. They're called Comic Artist Breakdowns.
Great.
Yeah, the two right there, the green and blue one there.
Really cool.
So yeah, Comic Artist Style Breakdown 1 and 2. Those are good, really good videos to watch if you want to jump on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but there's also tutorials and other things too.
Well, yeah, a lot of views also. Look at this, 14K, 13K, a lot of views.
Yeah, this year's been good. I like seeing what it's interesting to see what videos pop off a little bit because then I know what people like, and I think it's very appealing for people. I think everybody loves their favorite artist, and doing the comic artist breakdowns really pinpoints like a piece of subject matter that everybody likes to watch. I think everybody likes to see what makes certain artists so good.
Yes, yes. Area Blackness, welcome.
Hey Aria, I recently I got some original art from Aria.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I backed his Taylor's campaign and I finally got a Chubbs piece of art. It's here. I should go get it. But yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, Area is very good. Aria's very
yeah.
good artist.
Yeah, his book is way like thicker than I thought that book would be. But, that's awesome.
That's a collection. That's a collection. Yeah. So what are your biggest influences?
For me,
yeah.
I have a couple bones in my body. The one bone in my body is like a rendering style, which lends it to like David Finch, and I really like Philip Tan's work. But I also have this Japanimation type of influence from watching a lot of anime. Love Battle Chaser, so I love Joe Mad. And so it's a mix between like a Jim Lee, Finch, Philip Tan style, and a mix of that and like Joe Mad and Alvin Lee and this like kind of Asian influence in comics.
Right. Yes. Yes. Very dynamic art also, right? This
they push a lot of the poses and stylize wherever they can. Yeah.
Great. So
but I'm also I have a background in concept art too, so that's another piece of the puzzle for me.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of the futurist Sid Mead, who designed like Blade Runner stuff, and he designed everything. He's passed away now, but I love his work. He's an insane gouache painter and tons of designs. So I pull from him. I pull from a lot of a concept art style like Scott Robertson, if you know his stuff, and just. That's where I get all my, we'll say, environment and vehicle design passions from.
Okay, great. Alex says anime is always good.
It's tough. Here's the thing: like the anime is a weird. My take on anime, and a lot of people I think feel the same. Anime is so it's so simplified and so like approachable that a lot of people take it for granted what is actually happening underneath the hood. So many people that try to draw in an anime style fall short because they're not realizing what's there, that the years of practice to get to that point to make it actually flow well. And otherwise but I think that everybody realizes that once in a while when you see a style and you try to go emulate it and then it doesn't turn out the same way, and that's because there's like a whole lot of history and a whole lot of repetition to get that going.
Yeah, the basics, right?
The
last anime that I saw was the latest from Miyazaki.
Nice. Boy and the Heron, right?
Yes, that was the one.
Yeah, so I saw it as well. I went to theaters for it. Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, I went to the theaters to see it. Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I liked it. It was I really like a lot of his work. This one was, I think, the most esoteric, like the most like mysterious out of all of them. I think the characters were relatable, but at the same time, it seemed like it drifted. It was like a drifty type of movie where I couldn't really attach to, I guess maybe the goals of the main character enough. But I really liked the art style and everything about it was incredible.
Yes, it looked fantastic, but story-wise, they kind of lost me.
They drifted quite a bit.
What's going on? I couldn't really connect the dots, right? But
it's the same way. Yeah, you really have to almost know the backstory about it. There's a lot of symbolism, and I think I don't think they did a great job with like throwing that at the audience and giving them enough information to figure out the symbolism.
Yeah. There was also one of the first anime movies that I brought my girlfriend with me, right? And this was I wish it was a different one, but
yeah. Well, it's artistic at least. She'll give you credit for it being like artistic and Yeah.
All right. Alex says, I love Miyazaki. Haven't seen it yet. All right.
Which one's your favorite, Dave? Have you seen a lot of Miyazaki?
I haven't seen. Yeah, I've seen a few. I like the. I constantly forget the titles. The moving
Sure, you
castle.
can.
The moving castle.
Oh, Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah,
I love that one. That's really cool.
yeah. The designs and everything in that one is great.
It's crazy, man.
I like the big famous ones. The Princess Mononoke is they're always great. That one in Howl's is great. But The Wind Rises, I think it's the most grounded one he's got.
I haven't seen that one.
It's about it's very driven by his Miyazaki's kind of relationship with his dad. Pretty much like I think his dad was an airplane engineer, and so it's like this weird thing of like this boy that grows up to be an engineer for planes that he wants to make these planes for peace, but they end up being war machines for World War II. And I think it's the most grounded one, but I think it's the most connected. You'll connect with those characters a lot, and I think it's one of the ones where you'll bring your girlfriend and she'll enjoy that one.
Right. Okay. The Wind Rises is amazing.
Amazing. That's what I was saying. The Wind Rises. Yeah.
Haven't forgotten the Academy for giving the Oscar to Frozen. Oh,
yeah. I think The Wind Rises is maybe one of his best ones. That's the one I recommend. Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. Okay, guys. I wanted to share something else for today, because today I had a little update to our own Jamie Comics web store. So it's jamiecomics.com. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. And we added some new material. So now we added some comic books. So usually what I do, it goes through the crowdfunding system, and then I wait at least 1 year before the books get like available through other platforms. So now we added Perfect 10 issue 1 cover B, which is the second printing, right? So you can get that. Let me put this on. And American Bliss, all 3 covers. You will notice that. So you can get cover A. We have cover B, but also cover C by David Lima, which is which costs more, but that's because it's very rare. We only printed 100 of these books.
Nice.
So, yeah. And we added. Let me see what we added. We added this one. We added Perfect 10 2, both covers, and Perfect 3, both covers. So not yet Perfect 10 4, because that campaign recently ended, right? So you have to wait for that for a little while. But the first 3 issues are all available right now. And we added some, let me see, collections. We added, so let me go to the homepage, to the prints and the flags, because we added some more prints. Like we have a print by Joe Bennett, for instance, which is awesome.
Ooh.
Check that out. Oh, the resolution, that's great here. I'll fix that. And Eric Hodgson print. We have some POWERTRIP art. We have a print by Randy Green, and we have a flag. So this is like a, what is it? I think 30-inch by 50-inch flag. By POWERTRIP. So you can check that out. The link to all of this is in the description of this video. Great. And
do you fulfill all your books as far as like after they're out of crowdfunding? Do you send it off to someone, or are you personally managing it? I
send it out to Critical Blast.
Oh, great.
I've been doing that since American Bliss, and it's kind of seamless. It's kind of this entire process. It saves me a lot of hassle. It does mean that I have to ship out like boxes overseas, because the books will be printed here, because I wanted to see the books, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'll ship it.
So you got to ship it twice, but yeah.
But the European backers are mine, so I take care of those. And guys, you can sign up to. Wait, let me get the right. There we go. Pre-launch page for Perfect 10 Book 5 and POWERTRIP Book 2. So I haven't added new art, but I will update this page as we go along. We are working on the book right now, and it will be a double campaign because PowerTrip Book 2 is basically done, guys. It's basically finished.
That's incredible.
So, and we will wait with that one to launch it alongside Perfect 10 Book 5, which will be crazy, a crazy story.
I really enjoyed Perfect 10, by the way. Perfect 10's great. I have 1 through 3, I believe. I enjoyed all 3.
Thank you, Joe.
No worries.
And thank you for being my guest for today.
Yeah, I didn't see you drinking anything. Is this like a?
I have a drink. Here.
Oh, cheers! What are you drinking? What's on the?
Just cola. It's my same, the same boring thing.
Always. Okay, you gotta change up next time. Next time, go Sprite or something.
Mike says still some of Perfect 10 issue 1 cover A left. Yes, some of cover A is still left. Costs a little bit more, but that's because nowadays I think I have like 20 left. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. 20. I think 20.
It's limited.
Right. So Joe, thank you so much for being a guest, for showing us your campaign. So your launch in 2 weeks, the 17th.
That's right. On the 17th, and at that point, I'm sure I'll be in contact again. Maybe down the road, toward the end of the campaign, we'll do another one of these, maybe.
Right. Okay. Great. So Jens, what did you think about the show today?
Well, Dave, you do know this is supposed to be your show, but your guest just stole it from you. Good work.
Okay.
What a joke.
Thanks, Jens. Thank you. Guys, Joe, thanks again. And a special thanks to the chat, to everyone who showed up today to watch us. Thank you so much. If you're watching from the replay, thank you. If you like this conversation, give it a like. If you didn't like the conversation, give it a dislike. And I'm very sorry. I will be back next Sunday. So same time, same channel, new guest. Hope to see you guys then. Bye-bye, guys.